Hey guys. Okay. I had an alarm put. And when your alarm rings, I guess the video cuts off. But like how I was saying, yeah, so it was just recent that I started speaking up for myself. It's been very fearful, and I've had to overcome a lot and work on my throat chakra, because just having that fear of like being seen, especially, I'm practicing on actually being seen more, and being comfortable in my own skin, and learning to accept myself, doesn't work. Okay. And yeah, so really facing those shadows, facing yourself, like looking in the mirror and really facing yourself, and working on everything that you're scared of within yourself. All the insecurities, the fears, the projection in your life, oh boy. Becoming the better version, the best version of yourself. And it's normal. I was raised here, and where I live at the moment, I moved away for about 5 years. Around 5 years, I moved away. And, it was a big change. It was great. Bigger city, and like different climate and experiences. And, really changed me, right, as a person. But I think now, I see, the old classmates I went to school with, they're all grown up like me in their 30s, and how they, I'm just, I guess, going back to like those school days and how I was treated by them, because I was bullied a lot. Bullied and gossiped about and envied, and just people really did not like me, right? Like I couldn't have a friend. If I did, it wasn't for too long, a few months, and and that really would make me very insecure, and like what's wrong with me, and I didn't have the best role model female role model growing up, with like, you know, strong boundaries and not being so, and being secure within yourself, and, you know, being okay not being or not having friends, and, you know, things that we need as children, as we grow older, become women, you know, we flourish, and, you know, I look back and I'm like, I like comparing, right? It's not something I do every day, but, you know, seeing how those bullies, those posses, because it was never like one-on-one, you know, it was always a group of like jealous bitches, basically, versus me. I'm by myself, I'm quiet, like I stay in my own lane, you know, like I don't want to be bothered, like, but I'm like friendly and nice, and I'm approachable, you know, and caring. And so anyways, and seeing these females now, you know, and seeing where their life has gone, or not judging their life, but like looking at them, right? Because I could read people to a filth, but seeing the work they've put into themselves, the work they've done within themselves, if they've elevated or not, and most of them haven't. They've stayed like their high school years, you know, you know, high school, like the mean girls from high school, right? They've stayed the same, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm just like, thank God, right? Like even if I tried, you know, to talk to them, like, no, we wouldn't even have nothing in common, you know? But it's just crazy. It's crazy how, you know, people, you know, it's like the cool kids on the block, and then years later they ain't shit, you know. But yeah, I definitely don't want to stay in my hometown for the long haul. But yeah, you know, I don't know where I'm taking this, but I guess I'm practicing, you know, like being more on screen, and, you know, like, I don't know what it is about the camera. I mean, I do, you know, a few dozen, hundreds, thousands of people could see it, and that's the fear I have, you know, of being seen, you know, trying to overcome this. You know, in life, when you're young and you are told the opposite, all negativity, told the opposite growing up, like you're not enough, and all these things that make you feel insecure once you turn into a teenager, you know, you're not worth anything, and sometimes it's just the energy, right? It's not literally they're telling it to your face, but they're showing you in different ways. And you know, it definitely changes your perspective of yourself. I mean, you're so vulnerable as a child, right? And one of the biggest lessons so far in my life, in my 31 years of life, is projection, learning about people and projection. No matter who it is in your life, learning how others can project onto you, no matter who they are, and knowing the difference from who I really am, and knowing when someone's actually projecting onto you their insecurities, fears, these things, their lack of self-love, and I have the biggest heart, and I'm very loyal, to a fault, and that's why for like the longest time I didn't want to talk bad about others, because like I tell you guys, I'm I could see people's lack, insecurities, fears, and like this is just something I have by God, who has given me this, and I'm in public, so it's just have to be cautious with everything going on. ICE is in our cities, and the past few days they've been hitting real hard, and it's frightening, but we should not fall into that fear, because that will block us, it will close us up, and it takes a good amount of energy to unblock yourself and not be in fear, not live in fear, but it's also so easy to fall into that. That's why it's so important to heal, because when these hard times occur, these traumatic events happen that are not in our control, it's really important to know how to mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually deal with it, and every day learn how to cope with it, right, in a healthy way, in a positive way, and number one would be the Lord, praying, and just having a strong relationship with God. He should be our number one before anybody in our lives, and he's our best friend, he's our father, he is always right beside us or behind us, protecting us, walking with us wherever we go. We shall not have that fear. And just praying. I'll always having a conversation with the Lord, and I talk to God a lot. That is why I'm content with not having people around me all the time. I'm never alone. You know, we are never alone. We are never alone. We have ancestors. We have our ancestors from the highest white light, which is, we need to say, because if you call upon your ancestors, they could be ancestors who are karmic, who do not want, not the best intentions for you. You know, if you're looking to heal, if you're looking to elevate, to prosper in life, to help your generationally make changes, with your current generations and future, there will be some ancestors that will not be so happy. Excuse me. So happy about that. Or just ancestors that don't want you to succeed or to surpass or to heal certain areas because they themselves never did so. And so they're stuck. And that is why it's really important to, I mean, there may be a lot more reasons, right? But that is why it's so important to, when you call upon your ancestors, to say of the highest white light, or of the light. Ancestors of the light, my spirit guides of the light, archangels. I'm very connected to Archangel Michael. You know, we are never alone. So, okay, it's a little cold in here. I tend to get very cold and hot. Anyways, I have not been able to sleep for a good while. You know, I go a few days not being able to sleep at night, and then I fall asleep and I get like 3 hours of good sleep, and then I wake up because my son he wakes up and he wants to start his day, and you know, every few days it just takes time. You know, after 4 nights of not being able to sleep, the 5th night I'll be able to sleep because I'm so exhausted. But there is just, the energy is just real thick, and you know, for the people that are starting to heal, for the people that, you know, this is new to, it's really hard and intense times. A lot of like looking in the mirror. You need to face your fears. You need to start healing. You cannot go back. Like, there's no more time. You can't run anymore. You need to face it. And that's where we're at. And you know, it's crazy. I used to be in a point of my life where I used to see like glimpses of like the Matrix, illusions cracking, right? And now I am that for others, you know, and that's really, really powerful. But it's frightening as well, because people will hate you. You know, people will not like it. They don't want to heal, or they don't want to see. They want to stay in their illusions. They want to stay in their, you know, whatever world they've, fake worlds, that protective bubble. They want to keep that protected, you know. They don't want to change. They don't want to see the truth in life, the reality. And I've been there I was there for a very long time. I was there for a very long time. And it's, you know, going through a dark night of the soul. It's not fun. It's not fun. And you need to hold on to your bootstraps. Hold on tight, because it's gonna be a hell of a ride. It's going to be like the fastest roller coaster. And then it's gonna be so slow. It's gonna be painful. And you're gonna have to really sit in your feelings and your pain. Like, that's the only way to confront it. To really feel your emotions. And a lot of people, they can't do that, you know. And not being that judgy person, you know, is so important. And once you have that ego death, and you have your own awakening, dark night of the soul, you appreciate the journey, you know. You are thankful that you passed that, and you know, you appreciate the journey and that you've passed, because you could fall back in cycles, and then it's gonna come back around again. And then are you gonna have more guidance? Are you gonna have the balls? Are you gonna confront it now like a bull? You know? Are you ready this time? And yeah, so I'm being led to post on Facebook, and I'm very not that I care that others see me, but you know, before it was an insecurity of mine that you know, what are people gonna think of me? This is the real me, you know. I'm deep. I'm spiritual. You know, I talk about real shit. I'm authentic. I speak the truth. You know, and for basically my whole life, I never spoke a word. I was very timid, afraid of life, you know. And these are all passed on, you know, from generations before me. That fear and worry and, you know, all these projections. Yeah, and trauma, you know, trauma in my own life. And not so happy moments, experiences in life, who molded me to be who I am. You know, And I had something. My son had a traumatic experience in September with his school, and Lord have mercy. And I was at a stage, around there in my life where I was still healing my childhood. And I still am, I don't know, honestly. When you're in healing stages of your life, if it's divorcing or relationship or, whatever it is, if you're in the healing stage, you don't know. You're in the wilderness. You don't know when it's gonna be done. You don't know, and we have to learn to let go and not control and go with the flow and go on this ride, with ups and downs, because it's lots of emotions, lots of feelings that we have to face, and forgot my train of thought. Yeah, so I know there's a lot of people of my past who is stalking and lurking in social media, in my page, my social media, and it's just like, I don't need that energy. I don't need to be feeling into your boring life, your fake life. I'm a very humble person, and I've learned not to be so humble in certain parts and areas of my life, because we sometimes need that in order to get to the next level. Not being so nice, it's okay to be the villain of, in people's story, because they make you the villain, because they can't control you. They can't make you do things for them, or mold you to be something for them, to play this specific character in their lives. So you will be the villain a lot of the time, and I've come to peace with that. It's okay. I would rather be the villain and have my peace and be left alone, than have the opposite, like I've had so many times in my past. I can't hold my tongue anymore, and that's, for me, that's a good thing, because I've done the opposite my whole life. Just being responsible about it, being healthy about it, not being toxic, or so emotionally drawn, like motivated by it. We're not perfect. Everyone has their days, and that's normal. That's we are human. We come here to have experiences and to learn lessons, and some days are tougher than others. I do have my YouTube video, my YouTube account, where I post when I make videos, when I upload. But I'm being called to post on Facebook. So other, I need to be seeing people. Oh my God. Ooh, I just saw a rat. I can't. I can't do rodents at all. Literally, when I came to park here, I saw the rat go that way and then it came back. Ew. Oh, I have like the chills. So gross. But again, no. This song is beautiful. It's called Beautiful Things by Benson Boone. Me and my son danced to the song. And this is a great song, just, you know, to feel that gratefulness, you know, to feel thankful of our life, of what we have, of the people that we are, the person that we've become, and just having gratitude for nature, for life, you know. And you know, we're all protected, and God loves all of us, no matter the past we've had, no matter the people we've hurt. God is forgiving, and there's nothing we can do in his eyes that he will never not love us. We just have to forgive ourselves and heal and become better people, no matter what you've done, or, you know, no matter what you've done. That is how we regain our peace and our belief, our life back. Oh boy. Okay. I guess you guys are gonna come with me. Yeah, so I'm being called to post the videos I make on Facebook, because there's a lot of traffic on Facebook from so many souls, so many people that are looking for change, that are looking for different, that are, you know, no matter the culture, no matter your race, no matter the walk of life you have, if it's different, you know. My ear is ringing. I'm just very grateful, you know, for anyone, you know, who hears me. Lord have mercy. These cars are tripping. People are not driving too good today. Very grateful for you know, the people who listen to me. You know, I hope I'm doing something for you for the better, or, you know, just looking at life in a different perspective. I like to do things the way I want to. A lot of the times I do things backwards, or you know, backwards or whatever it is. Not when it comes to like cleaning or whatever, you know, like everyone has their own way of cleaning. But just things in life, I do things how I do things how I feel is right for me. And you know, and that makes me happy. That brings peace to my life. It's who I am. I don't like conditioning. I don't like, you know, it's not me. It's not my nature. Anything to do with like the system and like, and it's not, you know, people will call it rebelling. That's how it was called my whole life, basically. But rebelling for the good, you know, for the betterment of this world, bringing change that people have feared to bring. You know, they hope, they wish, they pray for it, but they can't do it. And when people see someone like me that brings changes, you know, as being a Hispanic person, you know, I'm not popular, I'm not like out there, like I'm not a representative, I'm not like, you know, part of the committee, part of whatever, you know, like, but I bring change in this sense. And you know, some people have their missions on this earth, one of their missions, and you know, anyways, you guys, in these times where we feel stuck, the energy is too much for us, we just feel icky, or you have too much within that you don't know how to deal with it, because you've been closed off or you're healing or whatever it is, it's really a good idea. One of the best things for me have been to dance, to put on music that make us jump and dance. You know, jumping and moving our bodies, or doing moves that will help release and release things within us, because the body takes account, you know, like emotionally, mentally, our body feels that too, you know. And so when we're healing, we have to do a lot of like movement, a lot of Zen, not always, right? But I meditate in different ways. I'm not the typical meditation that you have to like crisscross and Zen, right? I have my different ways of Zen, of meditating, and literally whatever feels right for you, and whatever brings you to that state of meditation is for you, you know. Like we have to be in control of our own minds, our own being, you know. And who gives a shit if people look at you like a weirdo? Like, just be you, because we're supposed to be living for ourselves, not for others, not for society, not for the system, you know. Like, who gives a shit? You should not give a shit. We don't need to talk every day. Like, you know, some people, it's like you have to say hello all the time. You know, like, yeah, it's respectful. There's certain things, certain customs that people have, but like, if I don't feel like I want to talk today, I'm not. And that's just being comfortable, right, with the people around you, for example. But you know, it's like there's always, you have to be like this, you have to be like that in society and whatever it is. And I've always been against that. Just be yourself, be open, and don't have a lens, right? Like I say, don't have a lens of judgment, of um oh, you should be like this or whatever. Just be open and positive, and you know, it's like, why do you have to be so close-minded? You know, it's not a fun way to live life. And at the end of the day, you're not happy within yourself if you live that way. You're not living for yourself. Anyways, you guys have a good night. You guys have a good night. I just sneezed. You know, other than praying for everyone who come into my daily life, who I see every day, if it's online, in person, you know, on the phone or whatever it is. You know, if I think of someone just out of nowhere, I always pray for everyone, and just keep the vibration up, keep the frequency high, and healthy and positive. And you know, just like when we talk to God, when we pray to God, when we are the same energy with the Lord, oh my God, the more you practice, the more you work on your relationship with the Lord, the easier and the faster you're gonna merge energies, and like automatically, just like now for me, it's like, it's a really beautiful feeling. Everyone have a blessed night, and you know, work on your relationship with the Lord. It's a beautiful friendship. It's very freeing. It's not religion. It's not, this is how we're supposed to be. This is how we're supposed to act. We can't talk about this with the Lord. You know, like how people are on their best behaviors at church. Or with their church friends. You know, when you're in those environments. That's what they put onto you to be, to act. It's not what God wants us to be. He wants our heart. He wants the best for us. He wants us to live from the heart, and to talk to him from our hearts, to pray to him, you know, and he knows our hearts. He knows us. He created us. You know, he knows when we're hurt. He knows when we're angry. He knows when we envy people or we're jealous of others. And you know, it's important to talk to God about these things. Like, you know, because he should be our like best friend. He should be the number one person we go to first before we call anyone on the phone. And this is the time now, not later, not in the future, not when I have time. It's in the present time right now to start building a strong relationship with the Lord, or get to know him. Start getting to know him. It's really, really important. And just having that consistency of aligning to him and with him energetically. And that is so beautiful. Knowing yourself and looking within and knowing yourself within. That's how you're gonna find the Lord. That's how you're gonna have that strong bond with him. You know? It's not easy, you guys, but it's doable. And life is just, it's ugly, it's beautiful, it's sad, it's heartbreaking, it's painful, but it's all worth it to save our souls, to save ourselves, you know? So anyways, you guys have a good night. Bye.